As you can see, the title on the thumbnail. When I was a kid, I had a problem. I used to say finger and thumb. Anyways, thumbnail. There we go. That is an improvised firearm, one of many that were found in Afghanistan in random places. Uh, it's crazy. There's these like, you'll have a small village. You'll get down closer to your larger area, especially if you're down by the Helmand River area, and like these like improvised firearms, dude, just all over the place. And what's crazy is you've got gun markets, you know, selling stuff and all sorts of crazy crap. From it's kind of nuts. But then like you get into some of these more rural places, and then, like these little guns, and they're made out of like sheet metal. They've got like, I don't know, the one in that picture, it looks like I don't know, some type of, like they were trying to make an AK or something like that. They've got a 7.62 magazine in it, if I remember. But then it looks like they have an AR-15 uh, pistol grip, and then the stock on it looks like it came off of like a, I don't know, Remington shotgun or something. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. But dude, they make guns out of like scrap metal and shit. It's crazy. Very and with what very little tooling and things like that they have, it's actually kind of impressive. It's impressive. But it's still surprising because like, when if any of you are currently familiar with Afghanistan, there was the Soviet-Afghani conflict that went on for 10 years prior, and a lot of Russian arms and ordnance, things like that were left behind, kind of just like we did with, in 2000 when we pulled out and left all that stuff there. But, you'd find things, you'd find what Russians, I guess, did during the 80s, or Soviets, whatever you'd call them back then. They'd take grenades, they'd pull the pin out, they'd put it in a glass cup, so they could throw that. That gives them a little bit of extra time, and then that glass will bust, and then the grenade grip plane can activate, bounce and go further or whatever. But you'd find stuff like that all over the place. It's pretty crazy. Some of the poppy fields and things along that line. There's all sorts of little dugouts and things where people store. I mean, poor people surviving there. For one thing, I got to hand it to them. I mean, they live in one of the roughest climates on the planet. You've either got, the Hindu Kush mountains and all that stuff. You've got Pakistan. You get to the southern area where it's pretty, down in the Helmand province, Helmand River and whatnot. There's a lot. There's more people and the population's more dense. But, I mean, it's survival. Some of these people, I don't know, sheet metal guns though. I mean, that's freaking crazy. I know there's people that have manufactured, expedient firearms like Ludi. Ludi's famous. For all of those of you that don't know who he is, I believe he's British. Yeah, British dude. Made a fully automatic machine gun for a 9mm. Just everything right out of the hardware store. Did it to make a point that it's stupid to ban firearms because people will always figure out how to make them or get their hands on them, which he's not wrong. Yeah, he was an interesting guy. But it's just funny because like the knowledge that somebody has like that, where you get a bunch of square metal tubing, 4140 carbon, higher quality, just how to cut it, make it, and basically look up the PA Ludi. I think Brandon Herrera, one of the, I believe he actually did a video where he manufactured one. Of course, he can't show you how you make it, but he took it out, tested it, everything like that, and it operated. I've seen a few dudes on the internet do it. But I don't know, that's another fun one to check out. What is up with the MAGA weddings? I mean, MAGA thing weddings, dude. I mean, that's some really bizarre, kind of off the wall shit. You know, it's cool to like your president. It's just weird though having a MAGA wedding. I mean, I guess you know it's really no different than Disney themed weddings, I suppose. I mean, you know, some people election days like the Super Bowl. They're so into politics and shit. But yeah, MAGA. I mean, just outrageous and bizarre, just insane. So yeah, but you know, typical Saturday, South Dakota, cold as hell outside. I'm trying to talk myself into going out shooting, but it's cold. Yeah. Let's see what else is circulating in the world today. I don't talk long, so I run out of stuff quick. I'm not good at bullshitting with people or small talk. I'm horrible. I mean, I really try. You know, I can come up. Nick Osea Connection one time. You know, he was like, he was giving me shit. This was probably about a year ago. Nick Osea Connection, for you guys that don't know, great channel, great dude. I love his stuff. The guy's hilarious. Really cool dude. Army dude, but loves his stock market talk. But he was like, you know, it's funny, Casey. You know, I've seen you in the chats. You can throw out some pretty funny shit, some good zingers in there. Man, when you get up in front of the camera talking, dude, and he's just breaking my balls over it. And he's not wrong, man. I can't get up and do it. Like, if I have a co-host or like somebody get like, or when I was a co-host for Redhead Stepchild or whatever, I could easily do, you know, get up there and talk. But like you guys on here, man, I'm like, what else? Shit, man. I mean, that just shows you how eventful my life is, right? It's like, well, let's see. Basically, my entire life's my kids. I'm not going to talk about my kids to people on YouTube on a gun channel, so that's out of question. It's like, all right, so then what else? But out of curiosity, so like, you know, I scroll through, I get some weird stuff in my algorithms, you know, and when I made that tactical enema video, ASMR making fun of Johnny Q, that was a bad idea because like all of a sudden all these like enema commercials are popping up in my feed, and you know, it's just like you know, who's that douchebag, and boom, all of a sudden it's like they think I'm geriatric or something, or I don't know, even know why anybody would need an enema, but yeah, Johnny Q, he's a ASMR enema. Dude's a dipshit. Total dipshit, man. And I know I shouldn't watch his shows because all I do is just make fun of him and talk shit on him afterwards. But, well, why not? Why not? I don't know. It's like, you've run out of content, dude. So you set up a table. You ask people, why? Or you send a comment in your own comment section under a stock account going, why is there red stuff on the table that looks like blood? Good question. Okay, nobody's seen that table. Nobody could even see that there was anything red or bloody on the table because you had it covered until you walked around and moved your shit off of it. And it's like, are 8-year-olds asking these questions? Like, is this all you can come up with? I mean, is somebody going to be like, what type of hair dye or hair gel do you use on your roots? Good question. You know, I mean, shit like that. It's like, dude, you can do better than that. Come up with something. I mean, I don't know. Don't know, folks. But I don't know. You know, the civilian tactical kid, he's kind of eased off lately. That first shot tactical kid, that guy's a complete toolbox too. He's a ginger though. They have no soul, so I don't feel bad talking shit on that guy. I really don't. You know, he would have been completely off my radar if he didn't pass along that bullshit story about why it's good not to use a suppressor for home defense. because it gives a blast that's concussive. Obviously, he's never shot close quarters, dude. Like, and that one to me right there is like, okay, this kid's a toolbox. Let's see what's up with this. But like, the whole like oiling, how to oil your AR, and I made that Astroglide one and all that stuff. This dude, I've never in my life applied oil to a gun the way this dude does, and it's just it's just hysterical. I mean, he's getting paid money. I'll tell you what, if they want to pay me money, I'll gladly sell out. But if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to make up shit about it. And if I was the people that were like sponsoring the channel, man, I'd be telling them, be like, dude, no, that's not how you apply it. But I mean, what do I know, man? I'm a high school graduate and a child of divorce, so it doesn't really matter. But I don't know. It's just stuff like that. But that whole, and when you shoot, your gun's going to give this concussive blast. I'm just thinking it's going to give you a concussive blast too, because you're in the same narrow hallway of your home. It's just like, what's his name? Vintage Firearms made fun of it even more too. He had a pretty good one on this. He goes, flat out goes, yeah, and you should also have those cartridges, so there's just a big old smoke blast too when you shoot. So he's blinded. You're blinded too. And just add that onto it. But I don't know. The shit these guys come up with. It's like Johnny Q's with when you run, you want to have your gun pointed up, because if it's pointed down, you might fall and end up hurting yourself. It's low ready. You run low ready, especially if you got other people around you. You go low ready. Go high ready, I guess, if you're climbing up a hill or something. But I wouldn't do that either. I don't know. These dudes, I mean, it's just constant. It's just constant, and it's funny is like no matter how many times that they get their balls broken, people talk shit, make fun of them, call them out, they just double down every time even more. Like, I mean, I think it was, what is it, Legion Foreign? I don't know. One of the other gun content creators had one of these dudes on, told him straight up, he's like, look, dude, you're promoting crappy products, you're telling people they're good, they're not. And one thing about product baseline with firearms, good products aren't cheap, and cheap products aren't good. I mean, unfortunately, that is the case. There's very few exceptions if you're on a budget, and that would be, I'll tell you flat out right now, SKS rifle, dude. If you like AKs, you like 7.62s, but you can't afford. I don't even know what do AKs run right now. I don't know. Mine was like 1,100, something like that. You can't afford that. SKS, dude, you can go buy one of those for like 200, 250, I bet. Probably, maybe 300. Maybe they've gone up. $300. Most likely it's going to be Chinese made, but they're reliable as hell. They shoot 7.62 rounds, which way better than 5.56 in my opinion. It's a semi-automatic rifle. You can go buy stocks and do all that tactical bullshit if you're into that too. There you go. Boom. I mean, and the ammunition's cheap as hell for them also. If you're just looking for something simple, home defense, pump shotgun, dude, go get a Maverick 88. $200, $230, whatever. Holds 5-in-1 shells. You can buy one that comes with a security barrel, which is the shorter one. That's what I use. When you guys see me shooting tactical shotguns, I use the security barrel. I have a breech barrel, but it's like, I don't know, dude. Something about it, I just don't like it. So I just always keep it on that security barrel. But that right there, dude. $250. Boom, Maverick 88. If you're going for handguns, I looked this up. About 375-ish on the lower end, and then on up from that point in between 500. You can go get Smith & Wesson, either M&P for you guys, military police. It's a decent handgun. A lot of cops do use them. I'm not a fan. Or you can get the Smith & Wesson SD series. I said this the other night when I was doing that live. Right in that range, 9mm, 40 cal. I don't think. And then I think M&P's got up to 45. I wouldn't recommend a 45 for them though. But I mean, you can go up to that for that range. If you're looking for 22, easy. Ruger 1022, simple. You don't need to get the takedown. I personally don't like the takedown on the Ruger 1022. I don't like the feel of it. But you know, I grew up. I mean, I've had my same 1022 for the last 2 decades. I mean, it can last forever. I love that rifle, man. Plinking with 22 is the best. But so you know, you've got your shotgun. If you're looking for like just a higher powered rifle, like I said, go get a SKS 762. You can get a paratrooper stock if you like that folding stock stuff. You can have the barrel repinned. I wouldn't recommend it because pinning barrels is a bitch. It's a big pain in the ass. But you know, as far as that goes, save money on that. So Mossberg shotgun, SKS, Smith & Wesson, MP series pistols. What do we say for rimfire? 1022, and I mean those are some good budget guns you guys can go out and get if you're on a budget. Like I said, ammunition's cheap for all. 9mm, well, 9mm's not really that cheap anymore. I mean, it's cheaper than other ammos, but you know, some good deals going on with that stuff. I haven't, what was it? Firearm apps. You know, other than that one that I posted about a few weeks ago, you know, where you can create your own training scenarios and then you go set up the range, how you mapped it out first, how many feet and everything. I haven't messed around anymore on that one. There's some other apps though that are complete horseshit garbage, and I would not waste my time. I wouldn't even, I mean, I'll put a post up on those. I do like the stop timer app because then you don't have to carry a stop timer everywhere if you're trying to get in your shooting and trying to rack off, you know, 5 rounds in such and such time or whatnot. So, you know, that's, you know, I think that's one of the cool aspects of it. But, you know, having an app, there's apps for everything. There's so many damn apps, I couldn't even tell you. You go to Disney World, you've got to have like 5 separate apps just to buy food, admission to the park, do this and do that. It's insane. I mean, you know, like phones just kind of like take over our lives, man. That's why Thanksgiving's great. Just turn the damn thing off and then just relax the entire day. But as far as that goes with the apps, other recommendations, what do we got going on? Steel cased ammo, your newer guns, you know, polymer based, all that stuff. I've never really had a problem with steel rounds. The only firearm I've ever had an issue with is my Mini 14. Steel casings, I had to get a shell extractor because it kept busting them for some reason. I don't know why. But, you know, like some of my Browning high powers, I mean, a couple of those are from like 1960, 1970, you know, they're the originals. They shoot metal no problem. With the metal casings, you do want to avoid major heat because some of them do have a thin polyurethane coating on them, so they don't rust as much. And that's, you know, a lot of the Tolamo or Wolf ammo, you guys have that. Yeah, I would keep it out of a really hot place. I mean, it's ammo. You shouldn't be leaving it in really bad heat anyways. You don't want fucking car lighting up like firecrackers. But you know, there's some things with that. Somebody was asking me about why all of the Hornady critical defense that I talk about, I can show you the box because it's not an actual gun part. These guys, if you buy any of that, it has the nickel plated casings on it. You know, so that's not going to rest. That's smooth as hell on your gun. That's probably one of the bigger things I really like about it. The one thing somebody had asked me though is they said, well, it's like the tips on them, there we go, is turning like a weird color. That's just because it's brass. That's going to happen. Brass tends to do that over time. If you haven't shot your rounds, it's perfectly fine. It's tarnished. It's not that big of a deal. You know, if it's on the slug. If it's on the casing, you might want to wipe or clean. That way, it doesn't build up gunk and whatnot. Um, but with the Hornady critical defense, that's a common thing. There's another question. I'm going through them here because I had to get a bunch of emails every week. Um, oh yeah, on the strange ammo video. So a guy had sent me this, and it was about these shotgun shells that you shoot through your shotgun to clean the bore out of your barrel. Now, doesn't that kind of sound like, okay, so you're going to shoot to clean? It must have like a cleaning pad in it. I don't know. I have it. I'll record it later, some point today, I'm sure. So you're shooting a shell with a cleaner, but it's got to be propelled by something to go through your barrel. So in other words, you're going to have soot afterwards, and then you're going to have soot all over inside your receiver. I mean, that didn't make any sense to me. I just thought, how hard is it to get a bore snake? It just had a little rope, drop it down, and then pull it right through and have that bad boy cleaned up. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, it's a lazy fun idea, but at the same time, I mean, it's like you got to go out to the range or go to some place where you're not going to get in trouble to clean your gun, because you're going to be shooting off basically, I'm guessing, a blank with a cleaning pad in it. But I don't know. Maybe that's a new way to get your kids to clean the room. Just fucking shoot the place up with cleaning pads or whatever. But there's that question. There was one more. I'm sorry if I forgot. I'm trying to get through all of them here. Oh, yeah. So, question that was asked about brass casings when you're shooting. You've noticed that if you look at the top, on the picture you sent me, how there's that shaving of little brass back. That happens because your magazines aren't seated correctly. Either there could be something wrong, malfunction with that. The magazines you're using aren't the correct ones. You're getting a nose up jam, and then what's happening is when you're clearing it, your slide's coming forward, and it's actually pushing that round, and it's hitting the edge of your barrel on the top, and it's scraping the hell out of that top of that shell, and that's why there's that worn out. I would take that to a gunsmith. I don't recommend people, when you get to certain functions on it, if you're not familiar with it, don't mess around with it. Take it to a gunsmith. Most of the time, it's either you're going to have some sort of, believe it or not, and it's like I always say, it's going to be your guide rod spring. It's usually the number one problem people have, or your magazines aren't seated correctly. If that round that you showed me was from a P80 firearm, I hate to say it, P80s have too much trouble. More than likely, find out what grip that is from Polymer 80. I think the 94 PC or something like that. That's the one for Glock 19s and 23s. If you bought like the first batches of those that came out and you're trying to shoot a Glock 23, you have a Glock 23 upper and all that stuff, whatever, on your slide and on your barrel and all that, they tend to have that problem. You'll have to actually upgrade it by a bigger grip for it, because you'll also be getting grip bite, and I mean, there's the issues with those ones. But yeah, that's something I wouldn't mess with, man. I'd do some research on it other than that. So I think I'm gonna call it good, guys, because I am blabbing about bullshit and I'm not good at it. So you guys all enjoy your Saturday. We'll have a single shot Sunday tomorrow morning, or church service. Have a good one.